Well, welcome to the Chamber Member Spotlight, a new series we're kicking off. And in 2025, this is our first one. We want to welcome Chad Higgins, CEO of Logansport Savings Bank. Chad, how are you today?
Doing good.
Good. Seeing you, buddy.
You
It's been a while.
Yeah.
We're going to kick it off. And first of all, we're going to introduce your guest.
This is Mr. Greg Garber from Steinberg Construction, and he's our construction manager for our project here in Logansport.
Didn't mean to keep you out of it, but welcome to. We're going to be talking to him throughout, and we're kicking this series off to kind of give community awareness of not only what Logansport Savings Bank does and who they are, but obviously they've got a new build going on right here in downtown Logansport. So we want to highlight that, give a community update, and just see what's going on with the staff. So we're going to kick it off with Chad, real quick. Your 1 minute, if that's possible. Kind of a history of Logansport Savings Bank, what you do, some of the strengths that you guys here at Logansport Savings Bank have.
So we turn 100 years old this year in March of 2025. So that's pretty neat in itself because most businesses don't last that long. Full service bank, 35 employees, one branch right now, getting ready to expand into Miami County next year. But right now we're doing this big expansion project here in downtown Logansport, and we've just grown so much over the last 10 years that we need to have more office space and then also modernize our facilities for our customers.
So, good. Ag loans, commercial loans, residential homes, personal loans, all of it. The full gamut of financial services. Well, it's great you're expanding. We appreciate it in Logansport. And as we're going to walk through a little bit and show you the progress, but I guess my first question is why? Why would you take on this burden of adding and building and construction and all that? So, what prompted this?
So, for like I said, about the last 10 years, we've been growing pretty rapidly. We've been shoehorning people in closets and taking kind of open space and making cubes or offices out of it for probably the last 5 years. And we've owned this building here for about 12 years. Before it was I think it was a grocery store, then a furniture store, then rented it to a church for a while. But the whole idea was we wanted to have it in case we needed to expand someday, and we're kind of there. So we're at that point. The second piece of that is in phase 2 and phase 3, we need to modernize the facilities that we have. Drive-through improvements, lobby improvements, just to make things better for our customers.
And right now we're standing, just for people to have awareness, this is what a lot of people know as Smith Office in the past. Most recently a church.
Yes.
And now it's not. It's a property that you've owned for a while regardless. And now the expansion. We are standing in what will be what, Chad?
The boardroom.
The boardroom.
For the new Logansport Savings Bank boardroom. This building is primarily an operations center, so the public won't see this a whole lot because this is more for back office folks, so executive offices, accounting, internal control, compliance, marketing, those types of services, IT, the stuff that's more non-customer facing, and again, getting that out of the main bank branch and over here. And then again, when we have regulators, auditors, those types of things come over, they'll come over here and not have to bother our bank customers.
Good. Very impressive so far. Mr. Garber, I'm going to bother you real quick. Yes. I know very little about construction. Ask anybody. So what percentage completion are we sitting at right here?
Right now, we started this project back in August. A lot of demolition. And throughout the process, we've started putting things back together, and we are right now on this phase right here, probably about 90% complete.
And in your world, 90%, I mean, if you look around, you think, okay, 90%, but I know the finishes are probably the easiest part of the whole construction project.
It's all coming together very quick. And, in the next 60 days, we'll pretty much, the inside of this will be completely done, turned over to the bank.
Okay. I said we walk through a little bit, and we'll see what 90% completed looks like. So let's walk through, Mr. Garber, Chad. We'll head this way and kind of see what you're looking at. We're leaving the boardroom, which will be the boardroom, and now we're kind of walking around. Chad, you mentioned operations, and for those non-bankers out there in the community, like what again, are operations of a bank that would be over here?
So internal control, compliance, accounting, marketing, IT, those types of things. Stuff that it's important to the operations of the bank, but it's maybe not what customers see or experience on a daily basis.
Okay. And this is a separate building, which
Yes.
will have a walkway, and we'll kind of look at that in a minute. But how big is this facility that we're walking
This
through
is
right now?
very big, 6,000,
Around 6,400 square feet.
6,400 square feet. So we're going to have, I think, roughly 15 offices. We're probably going to be able to fill about 8 of those right now. So we'll have about 7 open offices when it's done for growth for the future.
Okay.
So,
And are people like fighting to who can come over here, or did they get the word that you're coming over here and they don't want to come over here? Not that you're not well liked, but are people wanting to be over here?
I think so. I think a lot of it's going to be whether or not they see customers on a daily basis or not. It's pretty cut and dried. The people who see customers, who don't. The ones that kind of the crossovers will probably want to be over here, especially while we work on phase 2 and phase 3 while there's a lot of construction going on.
And I'm sure construction people love this when we walk in and when they're working, but we are going to look real quick. We have some flooring going on here. You'll kind of see the color coordination going on. You hired for your flooring? Gray Mill?
Yeah, Gray Mill.
Gray Mills.
Yep.
doing
Great.
all the flooring work.
Well, Gray Mill, thanks for your work. We appreciate it. Keep it up.
Thank you.
I'd lend you a hand, but I can't right now. And throughout here, you see more offices. You see nice walkways, obviously very big, good for operations. Here's some light. This will give you a little better view of, obviously it's white boxed right now, but good carpet, a lot of things going on here. I'm not sure whose office this is going to be.
See, 1, 2. I'm not sure yet.
As we make our way around to what they would call the shared space, I can't help to notice I see a lot of local contractor vehicles throughout your parking lot during the day. Of course, Steinberger's leading the way and the general contractor on this job, but it's been refreshing, of course, as a Chamber of Commerce to see local vendors being used, suppliers, contractors, and the list is so big, I believe, that hopefully you got a few written down. So Greg, just kind of rattle off a few or all of them if you would like, and we'll talk about them.
Just starting to go through here, we use Shepler Construction, Thistle Electric, Dilling, Mechanical, Plumbing, Anderson Glass, Engineering Aggregates, Central Paving, F&K, Versatile, Grable's, and McCord's.
So you're the project lead on this particular project?
Yes.
Coordinating with locals versus coordinating with people that may be in Frankfurt and Lebanon, and I assume it's got to be a little easier logistically.
It's a lot easier dealing with somebody local and mainly with somebody you deal with a lot of times.
Are a lot of them customers, Chad, or just
The majority are. Yeah,
well, that's good too.
that's good. Yeah, that's good for us.
They're gonna like that.
Yes.
Anything more to add on the local contractors, or
I don't think so. We when we sat down with Steinberger, it was important to Steinberger to use local contractors. It was also very important to us to use local contractors as well, and especially customers when we could. So
good. And we're gonna talk a little bit about phase 2 coming up, and I assume a lot of the same contractors might be used, but we appreciate it. So now we're in their foyer area, which would be the entryway of the old Smith office and church, but now it's not. So my question is, why here? Like, why did you not choose to go on the west end, east end? I mean, you've been downtown for 100 years now. Why did you feel the need just to stay right here?
a couple of reasons. One, we kind of have a campus here. And so we already had the buildings. It seemed like a better use of our resources to remodel a couple of buildings rather than tear down and start over. We did look at a couple other sites around Logansport, but again, for customers, we're right centrally located in the middle of downtown. Perfect for our customers. Probably the main thing is all the resurgence downtown over the last 5-6 years. We wanted to be a part of that. There's kind of a nice wave going on of really cool stuff going downtown. So why not us be a part of that?
There is a lot going on.
There's a lot
It'd
going
be
on.
an odd thing to leave it right now.
It would be. It would be.
You've been here through some tough times. Now let's bank on the good things going on downtown. As I stand next to this entranceway,
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming, I could be wrong, since this is operational and more of the back office and operations, I assume this will not be used by the general public.
Not very often. Not very often. This will be mainly, again, an operations building for employees. There might be time, from time to time, we might have something in the boardroom, maybe some public in for something, but for the most part, this is more of an operations building.
Okay, makes sense. And before we go to phase 2, back to the original footprint bank, is there a date that you're going to have people in here working and they're going to be plugging away and Carmen's going to be doing her marketing thing and you're going to be doing your CEO thing? Is there a hard date that Steinberger is shooting for to turn this over to him?
Right now, we're looking at March 15th. It's looking good. We should be able to walk away before then.
No supply chain issues,
Nope, not at this point. Everything is.
Can't blame it on the weather now. We're inside, so it's all good. So March 15th, and that'll be just in time for your 100th anniversary.
It will be.
Which is a great thing. New place, new footprint. So before we go to phase 2, phase 1 is looking great. We're on target. Thank you, Steinberger. Thanks for showing us, Chad. Now let's head over.
All right.
Okay, here we are at phase 2, which we're outside now. Luckily, it's a sunny day. This is going to be a new drive-through area with other changes. And I assume it's because vehicles are getting bigger and wider and taller. And
all the above.
Sometimes going to the ATM is kind of like a gymnastics event when you're trying to get in and out. But what will this look like after phase 2 is over?
So basically we'll have 4 lanes. The 2 outside lanes will be 11 foot for trucks, and the first 2 lanes will be 9 foot for cars. And then the ATM will be relocated over here for ease of getting in and out. Out there, the island where the sign is going to go away, and that'll just be paved, and so that will get rid of some of the congestion out there at the street.
So during construction now, that's going to be fun.
Yes.
During construction, what can customers expect? What do they need to be aware of? Are there certain logistical things that we're looking at?
So there will be a couple periods of time where we'll be down to 1 drive-through lane, and that will be probably a tough thing for customers. We will have to reroute traffic down the side road because we can't have cars backing up out on the market. And then another part of phase 2 I didn't mention was the night drop will move from where it is now on the side of the building there to, you'll be able to pull right up and it'll come off of the building so that you'll be able to just pull right up, drop your stuff in and go. So it'll be a really nice feature for customers there too.
And I think during construction, it's a great time to market mobile banking, online banking, the websites, because you can avoid some of that if you move to those mobile devices and services.
Parking will also be a challenge during phase 2 and phase 3. I always say everybody's loved phase 1 because it really hasn't disrupted customers too much. Phase 2, phase 3 will be a little bit tougher.
Okay. Well, sounds good. Let's go to the front of here we are at, we'll call this phase 2C. I've lost track with all the new stuff going on, all these great things going on. We're on the outside, obviously, and we got some changes coming up that this is not what you will see here later this year. So, Chad, Greg, what kind are we looking at for the exterior of the building?
So the exterior of the building will look a lot like the exterior of the ops building that you see now. There'll be a couple of windows added to this side of the building, so it'll transform the look and feel of the building from the road. Over on the side over here, we'll square off the building and get rid of that back entrance that's not used anymore. That was part of the original entrance for the bank.
So any new windows as we walk this way towards the entrance? Any new windows this way, or just kind of a
2 here, and that's it. New.
All right. Same color. Like, what kind of colors are we going with?
The same color you see on the other building.
Like a gray, black, dark?
Like a gray.
Okay, all right. New branding for Carmen to work on, right? Perfect. All right, well, now we're going to head into phase 3, I think we're at now, which is the inside of the bank, which will be later this year.
Yes.
And we'll go into that here in a minute. B was outside. Here is a rendering of the new drive-through and the ATM placement that they referenced. So this kind of gives you a visual of also the colors. the new branding that they will have along with the new layout of the drive-through. We are inside, and so that's done March 15th. They'll be working on this. When are you going to start phase 3, which is the inside remodel of the lobby?
More than likely, January of 26 would be my, and I'll defer to Greg on that, but I think that's kind of the schedule, would be January of 26-ish. We'll start working on the lobby.
Is it the lobby or is it throughout?
This entire building.
Okay.
So part of phase 2 is everything kind of from that front door straight back. That entire side of the building is going to get done in phase 2. And then we'll have a makeshift teller line so that when they're working on phase 3, they can do their thing, and then we'll open and everybody will be happy.
I've been through one of these remodels, and all my thoughts and prayers out to you. So it will be, progress is progress.
Mm-hmm.
People, I think, will realize that it's a refresh, it's a rebrand, it's going to look nice. So January 26th projected, you'll start this.
Then we'll start this, and hopefully back end of 26, it'll all be done.
Okay. Is there a phase 4 we're not aware of?
There's no phase 4.
Make sure I get my numbers right. Anyway, as we wrap up our first membership spotlight of 2025, anything else you want to add? Greg, Chad?
Just want to appreciate you guys for highlighting us and letting us tell our story a little bit.
People drive by and they wonder. So we're just trying to bring awareness and spotlight you guys. You guys are great members. 100 years now.
100 years.
We do appreciate that. Steinberger's a member. Thank you for everything you're doing in town with clubhouses and, this and event center and all the things you guys got going on. So we do appreciate you both. Thank you again for the first spotlight of 2025. And I hope it all goes well.
Thank you.
Thank you.